In a video game, as you evolve your character, you're able to unlock access to better items, new regions, as well as harder challenges. Kinda like real life. But why do so many people actively choose to spend time improving their virtual characters rather than improving themselves? What is it that video games are doing better than real life is? And can we leverage that to our benefit? Well, it's important to understand that video games are a meritocracy, where the best players rise to the top. Real life is very similar in this regard as well. You are rewarded based on your accomplishments. There's an immediate obstacle with that approach, which is that improving yourself, whether physically, mentally, even financially, it's hard. It takes time. I mean, think about it. How long does it take you to complete a video game? 50, 100, maybe 200 hours? It depends on the game, but that's more or less the range. When you compare that to the 10,000 hour mark, often referred to the point at which you have achieved mastery at a certain activity, it's no wonder most people choose the video games. To put it in perspective, 200 hours is 2% of 10,000 hours. 2%. And I would even argue that most video games don't even take 200 hours to complete. In video games, you always have a clear idea of the mission ahead. Say in GTA, if you've just started playing the game, every time you accomplish one mission, another one immediately pops up in your screen. This way, you never get the chance to feel bored. There's always something new to pursue. While the possibilities in a video game may not be as extensive as in real life, the objectives are certainly more clear. In real life, however, you kind of just spawn in a random place at a random time, in a random family, even if you didn't ask to play the game. And then one day you become conscious and simply accept everything that's around you. Once again, in video games, you normally have somewhat of a tutorial at the beginning of the game. In real life, you're kind of just expected to figure everything out on your own. And this is where a huge problem lies. People are faced with so many options, so many possibilities. They end up getting overwhelmed. They are afraid that if they go down a path, it won't be the right one. All of this uncertainty just makes life that much harder. No wonder so many people struggle to find out what they want to do in life. It's such a complex task. Imagine you're playing a video game and there's a mission that says, fulfill your purpose. And that's about it. What the hell do you do? You've got no clue where to go. Then again, video games don't have this type of mission, because it doesn't motivate the user. In GTA, when you play a mission, you know the spot in the map to which you need to go to, and you know what needs to be done once you get there. And it's this simplicity that's lacking in our lives. Okay, so let's talk about risk. In real life, everything involves a degree of risk. In the pursuit of becoming wealthy, you risk going bankrupt. In the pursuit of happiness, you risk rejection. In the pursuit of a degree, you risk not enjoying said degree and losing years of your life as a result. Video games, on the other hand, there is no risk. If we take Minecraft, for example, the biggest risk you have is just losing your inventory, that you can just replace later, I guess. But ultimately, you don't feel the pain that's inflicted upon your character. If you die, you just respawn. In video games, you get all of the rewards, but no risk. So, in video games, progress is not only easier, it is more visible. The progress is shown in various forms. Loading bars, for example. If you train your virtual character's intelligence, you can clearly see that last week the loading bar was much smaller than it is now. Same thing with physical attributes. No matter how they are presented in video games, progress is always very visual. But when we compare it to real life, progress is nowhere near as visible. If you go to the gym every single day for a week, chances are you're probably not gonna see much progress, if any at all. Same thing with intelligence. After you study a subject for 5 hours in a row, there's no loading bar that gets filled up. Or is there? This is where we can start making changes in our life. I mean, we can't just reduce the difficulty of life, but we sure as hell can draw a loading bar on a piece of paper and fill it up throughout the day as we complete more missions. And the beautiful thing about this is that you can freestyle as much as you want. You're the one who decides what your missions are. Go to the gym, read for 30 minutes, study that subject, talk to that person. Whatever it is, you've got control of it. It may not be as straightforward as video games, but once you start playing it the right way, it is so rewarding. Let me ask you this. When was the last time that you immediately got up from your bed as soon as your alarm clock went off? If I had to take a guess, it was probably when you were really excited about the day ahead. The problem is, most people only experience this type of excitement from time to time. Perhaps in Christmas Eve, or when a new video game just dropped and you're eager to play with your friends. What we need to understand though is that just like in your favorite video game, your life is filled with amazing quests, challenges, and opportunities for growth. But instead of earning XP or leveling up your character, you're gaining valuable experience and wisdom. Take it from me, once you start living life this way, everything changes. Suddenly, I feel motivated to wake up, even if it's at 6 a.m. Because I'm excited. I want to complete those missions. Going to the bed becomes boring because I'm going to be inactive for a bunch of hours. This is something I hadn't achieved before. In the past, when that alarm clock went off and I knew I had to go to school, I didn't want to get up. I just didn't feel like it. Until I finally realized that it is not a worthy way of living. Look, I'm still only 18, but nothing's guaranteed in life, right? I don't know if I'm going to be alive the next 2 years, the next 3 years. The way I like to think about it now is that every single day when I wake up, I've just been given another opportunity to improve myself. Aren't you excited when you finally have time to play your video games and log into the game? Now imagine how it would feel if you experienced the same feeling every single morning. So, how can you adopt this mindset? Well, let's break it down. Firstly, when you don't want to do something, imagine how cool that would look from a third-person point of view. I'm serious. Look, I can't tell you how many times I had to go for a run when it's dark outside, it is raining, it's cold, and that's when I flip the switch. How badass would it look if I'm the only person that's outside, running alone in the dark, and the rain is properly chucking it down? Suddenly, the worse the weather gets, the harder the challenge, and the greater the reward. By the time most people are comfy in their bed, I'm out there giving it my all. And the pleasure you receive by the time you finish running is something I cannot describe. It's like all of this resistance I was feeling before going for a run transformed into power that fuels me. That's why some people say that the days where they don't feel like going to the gym are the best gym sessions they experience, because it's that initial resistance that somehow turns into fuel. Secondly, set clear and concise objectives. Just like completing quests in a video game, setting and achieving goals in real life can give you a sense of accomplishment and fulfillment. Now, I think it's very important that you create objectives that are pinpoint clear. I would personally recommend you set weekly goals, because this way you're constantly feeling like you're accomplishing things. For example, if you want to learn how to play the guitar, make a weekly goal of training 2 hours a week. If you accomplish that, bump it up to 2 hours and a half. I've actually dedicated a whole video to setting goals. You can click over there to check it out. But the key point is that yes, setting goals is important, but they need to be precise. I mean, look, as I said previously, you don't play a video game with vague missions. The missions are always something straightforward. Go to this place and do this. So I would recommend you set up your missions in this format. Say for example, okay, tomorrow I'm going to the gym at 4 p.m. and I'm going to train. This way you know the location, the time, and you know what needs to be done once you get there. It's this preciseness, this simplicity when setting your goals that will help you fulfill them. And lastly, we can take from video games their reward system. Why do people want to get to level 100? Because they'll get a new skin or a new armor. The point is, we can apply the same to real life. Set it up so that the rewards you stand to gain will motivate you to keep moving forward. For example, if you've wanted to buy a certain t-shirt or another accessory for a long time, structure your objectives, your missions, in a way that if you do end up completing everything that you set out to do, you'll gift yourself that little reward. Bonus point if that reward is something that will help you accomplish future missions, like buying a better pair of running shoes or a new gym belt that will help you with future lifts. So, with that said, I truly do hope that this gave you the motivation you need to start exploring a vast open world game. Life is full of surprises, and hidden treasures are waiting to be discovered. To wrap it up, I'll leave you with this. We have the opportunity to wake up and live a movie. We're scriptwriters. We get to decide what we want to do. Just like grabbing a pen and writing your own story, you get to choose how your story plays out through your own actions. So remember, life is the ultimate game, and you're the protagonist. So, stop being AFK and get ready to conquer everything that comes your way.